Shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 back again for Super Sons Fortress of Attitude, and in this issue for the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude I am reviewing Robin issue 12, and as you can see here I have all three of the covers in connection to this run. And first things first, and that is time to jump into the cover rating. And the thing is, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? Well, I'll start off with the cover for the first one, to which I gave an 8 out of 10. The second one I also gave an 8 out of 10, as I really like the lineup here in this story, or in this cover. Starting off with Batman and Talia in the back, then it's moving to Raish and Mother Saul, and then some of the other characters who were met within the tournament, as well as the Lazarus Demon. And eventually moving all the way up to the front. Then last but not least, we have Damian Wayne jumping from the skies with a bit of a green background. And this one I also gave an 8 out of 10, so they all got 8 out of 10. And of course you can see the price that I paid for it from my LCS. Alright, it's now time to moving into the internal art, as well as covering some of the things that are happening with the story. So, moving into the internal art, we have, of course, Connor and Damian Wayne talking together on Lazarus Island and having a bit of a discussion. And I really like somewhat the foreshadowing behind them of sort of like the shadows of their parents behind them, which is really good. And of course, the story continues. And it's really nice to see these characters finally got to finish off with a bit of a good ending between them until they meet again. Now moving just a little bit closer towards the middle with the internal art, and we start to see that something is about to take place. And will he go through with it or not? As you already know, he hasn't, but I do like this interesting thing that happens now, and that is Damian facing himself. Jumping a little bit over past the, well, I think we're a little bit past the middle now, and of course Talia finally meets up with Damian, and Damian has a few words. And last but not least, we leave the end of the story, linking with Flatline and Deathman, and of course the epilogue, to which we learn also learnt that Ra's al Ghul, because of the times that he's been in the Lazarus pit, is actually starting to die on the inside. So yes, the Lazarus pit, even though we've known for many years, those who follow what happens to the Lazarus pit, has had side effects on many people. For the internal art, I gave it a 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move on to the story. First things first, the area is references. Now, did we get any references? Sure enough, we did, and both of those references were in relation to both of the runs in relation to Batman, the main Batman run and also the Detective Comics Batman run. They were about the only references that were referenced. Indication of time, though it would not have hurt to included it in the story, it would have actually helped bring the rating just a little bit higher. Locations, we ended up going to, in this, we started off at Lazarus Island, then we moved to Gotham, and then last but not least, we also covered Tokyo, Japan, and also the airship, which belonged to Talia al Ghul. Cast of characters consisting of Damian Wayne, Connor Hawke, Talia, Raish and Mother Soul, and last but not least, Flatline and her boss. Well, for the overall story rating, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, I would have liked to have given it something a little bit higher if it included like some timestamps, like for certain areas, such as even if it was sort of like pointing out as the next day at this set time, I think it would have made it a little bit more better. Until then, we'll see you again at Super Sun's Fortress of Attitude, for which I believe the next thing that will be reviewed on the channel will either be Son of Kal-El, the next issue, or Robins. So it's going to be in one of those orders. And have yourself an awesome day.